Hello, everybody. This is onsokumaru. Um, you see the picture in the middle right there? That's me. Anyways, Bugsy. Well, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't know this, but Bugsy is a Kamen Rider. Well, technically, Bugsy was the Silver Kamen Rider. I don't know if there was actually an existing one or not, but he got this power. He got this power from our uncle, who technically wasn't dead at all. He was alive, but after Bugsy would use the Silver Kamen Rider thing in his belt every. He'd use the Silver Kamen Rider power in his belt. You know how Kamen Riders do. They go Hinchin and then they transform. So I guess after our fight with Apex on Mobius, Bugsy, I don't know. We don't know what happened really, but I think Bugsy destroyed Apex with this final attack, and it was so awesome and so awesome and so freaking cool. I just can't describe to you describe it to you what happened. It was just so freaking cool. But needless to say, all that power that Bugsy used during that fight, in that one attack, it stopped the little Kamen Rider card thing he'd have for it. So Bugsy, but Bugsy actually, some dude, and I'm not kidding you when I say this. I only say some dude because I don't want to reveal his name. Gave Bugsy a new freaking Kamen Rider drive that they can put in this new belt. But the thing is, the cards are freaking Sega Genesis cartridges, and the freaking belt is I guess if you could put a small Sega Genesis on your belt, on a belt, that's what you'd see. So Bugsy has this special freaking cartridge he plugs into the belt, and he goes Henshin, and then he screams Sega, and then he freaking turns into the Sega Kamen Rider. Now this new one, it doesn't run out of energy. It can't drain Bugsy like that was the problem before. Bugsy has more energy to burn than any Saiyan in existence. So it's not like the draining power from him was ever really a problem. But this one doesn't use up a lot of power. But the thing is, it's so freaking cool. On the side of his head, on the side of the helmet, it's kind of I guess it's the first Kamen Rider and Kamen Rider Ooze helmet, but but there's a freaking Sega Genesis controller sticking out the side of it, and Bugsy has this new sword that he uses with the Demon Sword. It's called the freaking Master System Blade. It's so freaking cool. And mostly all of the freaking attacks are named after Sega stuff, like the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast, the Sega Mega Drive Punch. It's just so freaking cool. Bugsy's the freaking Sega Kamen Rider. But I'll tell you who gave him this. Now, a lot of you know in this world about Sega Centro. Because we live in this world, but we went back to we kind of went back to our dimension in a way. We kind of went back to one of these dimensions of who actually gave us gave Bugsy the freaking Genesis belt, and it was actually Sega Centro, but it had turned out when we went to that dimension, Sega to Sanchiro was the first Kamen Rider in that dimension. And it was freaking tripping out because Bugsy got to train with the first Kamen Rider. And you guys may be asking, Ani, are you a Kamen Rider too? Yes, I am. I don't use mine as much because I don't really need it. I don't really need it. Not to say Bugsy uses it because he not to say Bugsy uses it because Bugsy uses it because he needs a little extra help. He's getting a little, he needs a little bit of help every now and again. But he likes that. He likes wearing that belt around. He never keeps that special cartridge out of the sight just in case he needs it, and he keeps the belt on him at all times. Not all times, I should say, but the times when he actually, when he's walking out the house because he needs to keep that belt with him just in case something goes down. Oh man, and Bugsy was fighting Dr. Cube. I mean, for a minute, when Bugsy did the freaking first Kamen Rider pose, I just started freaking singing the first Kamen Rider theme, and I was just I just kept going with it. I was like, oh my freaking god. I just started singing, Rider, jump, Rider, kick. I was fanboying out. And I know Bugsy and Geen fanboy out about the fact that they got trained by the first Kamen Rider. Needless to say, Geen and Bugsy are fanboys of Kamen Riders because before they became Kamen Riders, they didn't even know that actual Kamen Riders existed. But when they did, they both fanboyed out, and Bugsy sort of kept it a secret from Geen about him being a Kamen Rider, and it was, I guess, for the best, really. But I guess one day Bugsy decided, forget it, and just showed Geen that he was a Kamen Rider. He was like, oh, yeah. Geen squealed like a little fangirl. It was kind of funny. And I'm pretty happy for Bugs because he doesn't have to rely on his Soul Reaper powers anymore like he normally does. He's got his freaking Kamen Rider stuff. I mean, not to say he can't use his Soul Reaper powers if he wants. He can use his spiritual pressure if he wants. Because he can use it inside his Kamen Rider suit. It's freaking awesome. It gives him that extra burst of energy. And let me talk about the cartridges he can put in along with his special cartridge. If he puts the cartridge of Sonic 2 in that belt, he gets, I guess he gets the Chaos Emeralds, but he kind of already has that, so he never really uses that. But let's just say every Sega Genesis cartridge has a special freaking power. If he puts in freaking Sonic 3, he gets the freaking Super Emeralds. And he becomes the Hyper Kamen Rider. It's so freaking cool. It's like, I was thinking maybe we should get a theme song from him, an original one. But that's just me. It was pretty fun, but Bugsy was beating up Dr. Cube. He was like, oh, Dr. Cube, come out and play. And I just heard, and Bugsy was like, I was like, oh my god, Bugsy's about to freaking kick all of Dr. Cube's monsters and lay them out so perfectly. It's just so freaking awesome. I can't really explain how awesome it was. He was just okay, the Genesis saber kind of locks in with the demon sword, making it a little bit more stronger because it locks into the hilt of that sword. And it's kind of like he has a You ever seen one of those like double lightsabers that Mace Windu? I mean, not Mace Windu. What was his name? What was his name? Not Mace Windu. What was the dude? What was the dude with the? He was in the Phantom Menace. The guy with the red face. I can't remember his name right now. What was it? It's gonna drive me nuts. No, it wasn't Count Dooku. It was some other dude. But anyways, think about that. But it doubles the power. He goes like, and then there's his ultimate attack, and that's the freaking Sega slash. And I swear to God, the Sega slash, it looks so awesome because when he slices you, he slices it in the form of a Sega S. It's so freaking awesome. And he has so many other moves that I can't even really talk about that he hasn't even done yet. Some stuff he's actually testing on his own, like certain blasters, because, dude, since Earthworm Jim was on the Sega Genesis, when he puts that game in, he has Earthworm Jim powers. Like, he has Earthworm Jim's gun. It's freaking awesome. He's using it. He's like, just shooting everywhere. It's freaking awesome. It's just really cool. And I don't know. The person that Sega Sachiro told me that if I still want to use my Kamen Rider powers, Bugsy's pretty much the Sega Kamen Rider. There's already been a Shadow Kamen Rider, but I'm kind of like the second one, or they call me the Darkness Kamen Rider. Which actually, because all my whole freaking Kamen Rider suit is black, but I have like this purple cape. I guess it goes with my hair. I'm not really entirely sure on that. Harima kind of likes the idea of himself being a Kamen Rider, but he really is he's not interested in being one. He wants to like do a story on that, and since he already kind of does manga anyway, he's gonna kind of sell that to his boss. It's gonna be called. He said it's gonna be called The Adventures of the Sega Kamen Rider. Yeah, because me and Bugsy were thinking like, Harima, you don't really need to do a harem if we can do the whole Kamen Rider thing. I mean, we're unofficial Kamen Riders. I mean, you can publish that. It's like a work of fanfic, but hey, I think it will work. So I think we're thinking of doing a teenage story revolving around the whole fact of the Sega Kamen Rider. But the one thing we don't got is the costumes, pictures. If anyone wants to help us out with that one, we will freaking, I don't know, we'll do something for you. We'll give you a shout out in our next video or something. Bugsy also was thinking like it would be like a medley, like for his theme song. He wants it to be like a medley of different Sega games, because basically some of those powers he draws from are from different Sega games. But he likes the whole Vector Man. He likes Vector Man's blaster. I don't know. He just likes it. But I've talked all about Bugsy and not about myself. Other than a whole bunch of Kamen Rider crap that was going on, a few things about me before I end this video. Well, since you all know that I'm Phantom Dark and blah blah blah, I decided to friggin' go back to doing what I did best. That was being a Phantom Thief. But the trouble with that is, guys, we Phantom Thieves still rare, and I mean rare stuff. I mean, yeah, we have a code of honor, but we only steal stuff when we have to. And lately, for me, that's kind of not been the case. There's nothing really truly out of the ordinary for me to, like, steal or take or anything like that. But I still keep my thieving skills sharp every now and again. hung, hung out with, hung out with, hung out with little Dark Junior last week. I don't know. Freaking, he's been calling out. He's been calling Alucard dead, and it's really starting to tick me off. I mean, it just ticks me off. I mean, he calls me dead, but calls Alucard dead, and that that just ticks me off. It's freaking Koboa. How could she choose? How can you choose that freaking dude that's a freaking vampire with guns over me, which is a Saiyan, Lord with guns, freaking violent too. Oh well. I probably bored you guys with my freaking small talk, but and Bugsy today or tomorrow plans on reviewing a few games for you guys. He plans on reviewing the DuckTales game because every night he keeps beating a level. So he's going to review the DuckTales game. He played the first one before. So he's kind of thinking about it. He's going to review that for you guys. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I mean, yeah, it may not be Angry Joe quality or any of the other game reviewers quality, but I think the best thing about Bugsy is he's not biased, or he's not biased. He's not biased. Not like a lot of reviewers. He'll tell you how it is, and he'll tell you should you buy this game if you're a DuckTales fan, or should you just leave it alone since it's Capcom. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bugsy still doesn't despise Capcom, and he really figures that the reason DuckTales got made at all was because I think Capcom wanted to Capcom wanted to shut us all up about the whole Mega Man thing, so I think that's what it is. I mean, Bugsy thinks that's what it is, I think that's what it is, Harima thinks that's what it is too. And Bugsy is still mad about the Mega Man board game, so no one in the comments say Mega Man board game, because it's going to be like the Nostalgia Critic, whatever the Nostalgia Critic here's back credit card. But with Bugsy, it's a lot more different, and it's a lot more deadly, and it's a lot more violent. So, yeah. If you don't want any innocent childs to be eaten, I suggest you don't talk about the Mega Man board game. I'm just saying. This is onsokumaru telling you all, oh yeah, baby, I'm back doing vlogs again. I love it. Thank you for letting me entertain you with my stories. And seriously, watch out, evildoers, because the Sega Kamen Rider, it is coming for you very soon. So see you later. Bye. See you guys later. I mean, for the rest of you, see you guys later. Bye. Okay, okay, there it is. See you guys later tomorrow.